Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor. It's Monday. We're going to approach this a little different this week, guys, gals. The noise you hear in the background, it's me trying to tinker with this 3D printer. I've tried a few things. I got 1 3/4 good prints, so now I'm trying something a little more technical to see if it'll print that. I found some errors in my settings, which is great. That means that it may not be nothing too serious, but time will tell. Right now, I'm still getting some failure, getting misprints, so on and so forth. So today is, or this week, I should say, we're going to break this into two things. What's on my bench? I don't have anything that came in the mail. You guys got to see all that Friday. We'll take a look at Cecilia at the end of the week, since that's a pretty good sized project. But today we're going to focus on Shorty. Now that we got the Mustang done, I sat here and stared at this thing for probably 3 or 4 hours off and on for the past couple weeks. And I went ahead and pulled the trigger and did it my way. I made it work. I manipulated it, and it may not be exact, but it's very close. I'm just using the 2 kits that I originally planned to start out with. I'll still be able to build the other kit. I will have to source some rear leaf springs, but that's here nor there. So, and we won't be building that one for a while. That'll probably become, I think I said before, like a shop truck, 2-wheel drive, long bed shop truck. We'll get some Rusty Rotor model car garage decals made, and we'll do it up. It'll be a special little project here in the future. But for now, Shorty. So, we knew we were ready for primer. So we've got it in primer. And I'm going to show you 2 ways. We'll look at it this way, and then we'll take the camera, turn it around, and look at it better. Like I said, I did not know it was a leaf spring front. The pictures is very vague. You can't hardly see any of the components in the front other than the diff and a shock, a steering stabilizer. So, after talking to Justin, that I knew better, and so I had to come up with something. I was going to scratch build and bend, and then I was like, you know what? I can bend these, get them bent basically the same each side. That way, it's as close to uniform as can be, as far as where one is, and mirror image. And I did pretty good on that. I got off a hair on one of the springs, but I took measures and counterreacted that, so to speak. I ended up breaking one of the springs, which I was like, oh crap, I'm done now. But I was able to mend it, put it back on, and then sand it up and make it good. And this guy's Zap It. It's a UV cured glue. This stuff with that little light, I mean, it's instant. This stuff is good. This is good for like water effects, filling in your lenses, small parts. It'll cure. It takes a little longer to cure this than it does the Zap It. And like I said, for $3 more, I got 3 big bottles, and this stuff's like, I think it's come down a little bit. It was like $13 a tube. I think now it's like $11 a tube. But it's good to keep on hand. I got this at Ace Hardware. You can get it on Amazon. You're risky getting it at Amazon because I've gotten it several times and they've been hard. I had to send them back and get new ones. It's just a hassle. Where my local Ace Hardware, I just ran down there and picked it up, came back, tested it right out of the gate. It was good. I've had to take some back to them as well, and then they were out of it, so I got lucky. So next time I'm in there, I'm going to pick up another tube or 2 just to keep on hand, because when you get things that are fighting you, or if you break apart and there's a gap in it from where it broke, that's a good filler because it cures instantly and it's sandable, paintable, primable, all the above. So it's a good little tool to have. You can use a toothpick in tiny amounts and fill in seams and cracks, sand it down, they're all gone. It's, instead of breaking out the putty and waiting for it to dry, this is a good alternative, guys. Photo etch parts, tiny little wires like you see me run, just dip it in a little dot. I always keep a little piece of styrene around. I'll put a drop or two on there, and I dip my wire in there, put it in the hole, hit it with the light, boom, it's done. I don't have to sit there. I can finish running it where I need to. It's that quick. So anyways, back to Shorty. Our hood, we got a little bow in the center. It's not major. It's not even really worth mentioning, but I can push on a little bit and it goes right down where it needs to be. So we'll probably heat that up a little bit and push it down and let it cool. Just get it to conform right. Now on this project as well, Ernest is helping me. He's designed a few things. He'll be designing the marker lights. 67 has marker lights on the fenders and the back of the bed back here. The little emblem that goes in the center of the grill. This is not the grill. This is just on here for looks today. The 67 grill's coming from another kit that I ordered. It's not back ordered, but the 63 F100 from AMT that I ordered is still back ordered through Model Roundup. And I just told them just to hold them both and ship them both at the same time. So as soon as it gets here, I'll have the correct grill, but I will have to strip the chrome on the grill and the center bar that runs through here. I will have to make a small groove in that all the way across, sand it really good, and then it'll get red paint in that, and then there's a little emblem that goes in the center. So Ernest is going to make that. The stabilizer shock, the other 4 shocks, because like I said, I tried to scratch build them. It was an epic failure, and they just didn't look right. It was hideous. So in this case, it'd be easier just to get somebody to 3D print them, and then I can paint them, and it'll look the part. So the bed is fully primed. The hood is fully primed. I got to do some wet sanding on the hood, and we'll probably hit it with one more coat of primer. I did find some issues. I got a couple little scratches up here, nothing major, easy to fix. And then there's one. I think there's one out here on the hood too. I got to fix that. So we're in really good shape here. The ride height. A lot of you are wondering, is this correct? Blah, blah. And of course the chassis is all painted. We've got our crossbar in. We just got to put our stabilizer, which goes from the diff to the idler arm here. I'll make little brackets and we'll glue those on. That way it looks more realistic. But the shock gets painted the body color and a white boot at the top. So, that'll look good. We also got, on the real truck, he's got a square tube that goes from frame rail to frame rail. In this kit, the bumper covers it. So what we're going to do is we went ahead and pre-painted one, and we'll put it at the bottom, and we'll scoot it out a little bit so it'll be like right up underneath the bumper, just like the real truck. So it'll look the part. It's just not going to be the same. We might make little brackets or plates for the side so it goes up to the frame, so it it looks right. So and that won't be hard. That's just cutting out the shape out of a little flat piece of styrene. We'll get it painted, glue them to the square tubing first, and then it'll mount to each side of the frame rail and to the bottom of the frame rail, and it'll protrude out, just a little bit. But anyways, so we got that. Here's our front bumper. He's also going to make our front license plate. It's nothing special. It just says 1967. But, I'd have to have a decal custom made. And why not 3D print one where the numbers are raised and I can just paint it and then make it look the part. The back bumper is a step bumper. We do have that somewheres, I think. Let me look here. That down. Yes. So this will have to get chromed. It goes up underneath the back. You can see. That's what I like about Mobius. Everything's a good, tight friction fit. But that's our back bumper. It'll get chromed. I believe it's chrome. I'll double check it. It's either aluminum look or chrome. And then there's nothing in the bed, so it'll just be, finished paint. We do have the Ranger XLT decals for the bed. The real truck has the emblems, but we're going to use the decals. We do have the F250 badges for the hood, which his has. And then, we have the 250 axles underneath this. The axle from this kit we'll be using on the long bed truck. And then get this off of here. Move on so you can kind of see. Just pull it around. You guys can see, everything. We put these on here. We're gonna put them on the back too. It does bump the wheels out a little further than what the real truck has. But the reason we did that is I don't think Ryan Jones was aware, and I wasn't aware, just where I could say something, so it's really nobody's fault. But these go on, and then if we don't use those little bump outs, then the turning knuckles are right up against the wheel. In normal cases, that would be okay. And that 1/8 of an inch, as you can see, that 1/8 of an inch right there, and it is an 1/8, I've already measured it, would put the wheels where they need to be, and tires, I should say. But bumping them out a little bit, all 4 of them being bumped out, you're not going to notice. It'll stick out the thing. The tires aren't exact anyways. His are more rounded across the face, where these are more, they're rounded a little bit, just not as much as what they should be. But, at the end of the day, it's going to look really good. We have the 4-wheel drive switches that go in the hubs here. And then we have the hubs for the rear. But we will be putting 2 of these on the back as well. That way they match, 2 leaning out further than the other type deal. And then our interior, he sent me a slew of pictures, so we'll paint it up and add anything it needs to replicate it. But, we're solid. So now I just got to get underneath here and paint the transfer case in aluminum color, weather it a little bit. And then we're ready for Ernest to get the shocks made, so we can get those painted, clear coated, and we'll get them in position, all 5 of them. And then we'll get our tires and wheels mounted, and the brakes, the rotors will be up inside. The wheels, we've got their calipers painted already. You won't be able to see decals on them, so we're not even going to put them on there, but we will detail paint the rotors. And I've got, just in case you think about it, hey Rusty, what technical print are you printing? Transmissions. This engine, he has a V8. It has dual exhaust. They come out and right in front of the rear tires underneath the bed. So we'll have to hand bend the exhaust, and we'll make some tubes, chrome tubes, or tailpipes. We will use part of the kit's exhaust where it comes off each manifold. That'll be our main dump tube, whatever you want to call it, down tube. But the kit is a manual. His is an automatic. So we will add a shifter to the console, and one of the transmissions here we will be using, if it works, to put on this engine. That way we're more precise. I've got one other print on here that I want to try. It's just miscellaneous stuff, but it's, they're important. If I can get this thing going again, it saves me, almost $1,000, well, over $1,000 by the time all the resin I've bought and my time and everything else. So, it's imperative. We're going to travel here and make a big mess. All right. Things are getting tight in here, guys. Sorry for all the jiggleness and waviness here. Let me get you. There we go. My ugly mug. So, this is a two-parter. We're going to wrap this up here pretty quick because we're not getting too far into this. But we went ahead and started on the Dodge Challenger. I think this is 1970 Challenger TA kit. It's the Street Burners by Revell. Ernest also, being a super great guy that he is, has been helping me on several projects. He designed the chin spoiler, the hood scoop for this car, because this is a 3D rendering. So, none of this stuff exists. So, if you've seen my Instagram post, you'll see where I've already, it's begun. That is this build. That's what these custom tires and wheels were made for by Ryan Jones. We got the big 16-inch rotors in the back. We're running 14-inch rotors in the front. It's just more eye-pleasing, even though chances are they would be the same size rotor. I had all four, but it just filled up the whole face of the wheel, and I didn't like it. So we're making an executive decision there. But you can see, there's the tire and wheel. You can see all 5 lugs, or you can see through the holes. We've got to flare these fenders, and the way I do that is I will draw a line nice and neat up to the point where I need it to stop all the way around the wheel well, front and rear, and then I'll just start heating it up and taking a pair of flat, these right here, best friend, and I will grab that and I will manipulate it and work it out, and then I'll heat it up, and I take the round part of my knife and I put pressure on it and I roll it. That way I don't have to custom build fender flares. I can flare these for what I need. And it's basically just enough for it to, the front tire will sit up underneath that like that. You can see that, there we go. And it won't be trying to push too far this way, that way, whatever. It'll just rest right on top of the tire. We opted out the K-member. And you can see these are one of my 3D printed front suspensions. I got these at a model show down in Louisville, and they adapt right to your frames. You set your height, blah blah blah, and then they go in. And I only primed them just so I can see, make sure everything's good. If I need to pop one off, I can adjust the height. And the way we do that is we'll put the tires and wheels on, and we'll see how it sits. Leveled up. If one tire's off the ground further, then I'll pop it loose, let it rest there, and glue it back in place, and it'll be perfect ride height. And they're primed now, so I can get in there. I'll have to hand paint all the components: the upper and lower control arms, the shock, so the spindle. Same way as the back. I glued the spoiler on, so I want to make sure that I'm good. There's nothing horrific there that I won't see until I get to paint, so I can get it all sanded down now. Primer's your best friend. It shows all your flaws from any body work you've done. Same way as, this, I can feel a little edge here, so I need to sand this down more smooth. I like my body lines being smooth, like if it was all one piece, even though it's not. So, that being said, we have an open space underneath here. And I'm thinking to myself, what do I want to use the kit engine? It's a 3D rendering. I don't know what kind of engine's in the car. But I thought to myself, well, you can't really see. So we'll make executive decisions, and we're going to run a Pro Mod, or Pro Charged Hemi in it. And we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But this is one of the pieces Ernest designed, was the chin spoiler. And I got to tell you right now that you can't get any better fit than he designed it. Now, he has this kit, so he was able to work off of it to design it and make it. But man, oh man, it's just like the real car. You'll see the real car, not the thumbnail, but it'll be in there, and you'll see. But you know, when it's on there and put in there, it's tight, it fits right. But our ProCharged funnel will come out underneath here, and we have mesh to put in all the way across. So we'll cut a little hole in it, and we'll put our funnel in back to the turbocharger, and that's where it'll be. Now modifying, I don't know. I've been tinkering around with this. We've got a radiator here that will probably be in the way of that, so we may drop to a narrower radiator, or we may build our own radiator and make it smaller, not as tall inside here. That way our ProCharger will go up underneath and come out and line up here where it needs to be. And then all we have to do is put our little funnel in. The funnel will be black. We want it to blend in. Our hood is the same way. This is a 3-piece scoop, but I didn't like the other 2 pieces. Nothing against Ernest. It's just once they were on there, they just didn't look right. So we opted those out. But I did get glue everywhere, so I got a lot of sanding to do, as you can see, to get all that out and smooth. A little putty here and there, and we'll be back on track. The key is on this, because we all know it's purple. It's going to be a pearl purple. It is a tropical glitz color. It's cosmic purple. See that? There we go. Beautiful. It's not shaken up or anything either. Let's see if it'll change. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better there. And we've got a candy purple. That's not purple. Where'd the purple go? There it is. To go over it. Now the question being, the hood is matte black. And I'm trying to figure tape along the top edge of the body line here all the way back, and the whole top of the car be black, and the whole lower half be purple. The bumpers will be purple, front and rear. And then in the black inside here, and then that'll be the chrome piece. I'm stripping the chrome right now. That'll get redone for the taillights. So I'm debating on making the whole roof, or have the roof purple too, and just the hood and the trunk deck and the rear spoiler and the end in here. So I gotta make some decisions on where to start and stop on color. But it's coming along a lot easier. Modify the rear. Yes, we had to modify the rear. We cut our inner fender wells out up to the frame and notched them up in here. None of this will be seen. It'll be all black anyways. And then, as you can see, when the tire is in there, it blocks everything. And when that wheel well is flared, this tire actually comes out. It'll come out to the flare, which is about right there. That's how far out it'll be flared. So with that being there, it kind of blocks everything. If we need to put a little filler piece in there, we can. It's just not. I don't think we're going to have to. So we got that. We will be using the stock interior. Thinking about it, these came out of a die cast, but you know they're already done. I can paint them, put the decals on them, and put the 5-point harnesses in there. We'll get rid of the little parts here, paint those chrome. You know, we'll dress them up, make them look a lot better. We've got our parts box as usual. Here's our headers for that pro-charged engine. I don't think this goes on there, but we have it in here just in case. We got our water tanks. We got our master cylinders, a couple of them to choose from. Electric fans, a couple of them to choose from. Our overflow bottle. We have one of my distributors we're going to be using with my own wires. And then washer fluid tanks. We have the radiator tanks down in here. And these great little containers, keep all your parts for your build. We do have a different steering wheel. We'll probably be using that. An Optima battery. So we got some parts set there. Next step is we got to get our mirrors on and glued permanently. We'll paint them all as one as we go with the body. I was thinking about maybe painting these black too, but we're going to paint them the body color. They'll be on the part of the body where it'll be purple anyway. So, pro-charged. This was the last one I had that I printed probably about a year ago. There's the block and the heads. Look at all that detail. And then we have the valve covers. Tell it's a Hemi by the valve covers. We have our oil pan, our bypass valve, and our intake tube. Let's see. Here's the Pro Charger. We've got, I think this is an oil pump. Water pump or oil pump, I don't know, but it goes on there. We'll detail it up. We've got our transmission, low power style transmission. There's our intake and fuel rails. You kind of see that detail in there. It's a nice looking intake. And other components. One of these is a water pump. Some other kind of pump. I don't know what they're called. We'll figure it out and we'll get them detailed up the way they're supposed to be. So we have all the components for the engine. Now what you say, well, will it fit in there? Yes and no. Hood clearance isn't an issue because we know that'll be all right. This one is going to be setting it to where the Pro Charger, I don't have it disconnected yet, but it'll come out to where it's right here. Sorry guys, right here. So that'll set the engine where it needs to be. And then the tube comes up off of here and comes up to the intake. So yeah, we're going to probably make a radiator for it, or find one that's narrower. I probably have one up in the parts box we can use and make it work and fit the part. But yeah, we're going to put a Pro Charged Hemi in it. Why not? That's what it's all about, isn't it? Modeling. So you guys can let me know what you think. What you think about both these builds. We're not really. This was just a time killer while I was waiting for some stuff to dry on Shorty. Shorty is the focus along with the villain. And as we get one of these projects done, we'll bring down another. Remember, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 right here just in the wing. The 53, the Oliver Biden project, and the Pro Street. That 2 of those are 90+% done. The other one's about 10% done. But should be a fairly quick, easy build. Focused on paint and tires and wheels mainly. It was just a car I saw, fell in love with it. I figured I could build that. I printed out the tires and wheels for it, the engine for it, all a long time ago, and we've back-shelved the project because other stuff was more important. So those will be the 3 side projects, and then we have Ring Brothers Charger over here, and we have the 66 short bed. Now, if you remember back a video or 2 ago, I talked about disassembling bench 1 and 2. That is a definite going to happen. It won't happen this weekend. It'll probably happen the weekend after, or the weekend after that, whenever I have time, or through the week. and then we'll pull the diorama table back. That's going to leave the whole front of my shop wide open, which is going to be great. I can put a couple low type shelves in and have places to stack things nice and neat and organized, have room for my chairs so nothing's bumping into everything. It's not organized right now. My shop's a mess, but it's very fluid. I can flow from one area to the other, and that's fine. That's really what I was looking for in the beginning. But now it's like, anytime I put something else in here, now I'm bumping into stuff. I'm hitting things, and I'm knocking things over, and that's not cool. So we're going to take 1 and 2 out for now until we relocate or whatever time calls for it. And we're going to put the diorama table in, from that wall there going this way towards the door. That'll leave plenty of space to get in between them, to get back in here to work. I can work off the back side of the diorama table. I do have an organizer coming for the small paints for Vallejo. You guys have seen them, those custom wooden organized. I found one on Etsy. It was a fraction of the cost. Now, is it just is good? Probably it's just as good. I don't think it's as quality as the other stuff, but it'll serve my purpose. And we can get the diorama table a lot more organized. And we can get all this cleaned up and organized. I do need to go through and it'll take me about a week to go through and real good organization, clean up in the shop. So somewhere in between that, we'll be taking a break because we are kind of ahead of the curve right now. I want to take my time on this one. I want it to turn out really nice because I do want to bring this to Acme. Same way with the Oliver Biden project. The Pro Street, I don't know. I've made some major boo-boos, so we'll see on that. And of course the trucks. And maybe one more Mustang in the pipeline. So, be looking. Remember, guys, the purple pond, look at that. It's only been in there for about an hour or two. It's already stripped all the chrome off that bumper. And Mobius has really good chrome. It's really thick, heavy, nice chrome. It's just, not Mobius, AMT on this kit. Or is this this ain't the Mobius. This is the AMT. I believe. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, this is for the Challenger. So yeah, it's stripped it off in just a couple hours. So I get this out and I'll wash it in soap and water, sand it all down really good, prime it. It'll get painted when we get to that part of it. I could have also used this spoiler, which I didn't like. We're not building the TA version of it. TA version has this spoiler. The other one would have a spoiler like this. There's the base for the 2 carbs, which are way out of scale. This is a 1/24 scale, which is bigger. I mean, here's a 1/25th scale car, I believe. Maybe it's 1/24 as well. Yeah, it's 1/24 too. Mustang is 1/25th. Now, in real life, these cars are very similar in size. In the model world, this one's a lot wider and longer than the Mustang. And you can see there's one my mistake. As soon as I got it, cracked a brand new windshield. Anybody knows how to repair a cracked windshield like that? You can see it, there it is. Please let me know down in the comments or send me an email. Tell me what I can do. I hate to lose this windshield now. But, and just so you guys know, I figured out why I couldn't get the 2 halves together. We'll talk about that real quick and we'll get off here. So, we're using the Lincoln chassis and the floor pan. The Lincoln is longer than the Mustang body. So I ended up having to take the back tabs off the floor pan, like I did originally, and then thought, well, now it's too short. Well, it's not. I took those off, and I was notching the dashboard out, and it's like, just chopping this thing to pieces is going to look crappy. So I'm going to have to fill in those spaces, but I want to get the roll cage exactly where it is, and I'll fill it in, tape around the roll cage, and I'll putty and sand the dash and repaint the dash, get looking good again. I had the door cards, I added material to the back of them to scoot it out. That's where I made a mistake. It needs to be back further for it to line up to the shell of the body. So that's what we're in the process of doing. We're just taking our time. We're about to do some puttying, repainting, all that to get parts cleaned back up the right way. So I'll keep you informed when we reach a little milestone on it and we can show some work on it. As of right now, nothing's been done. I do know where the mistake was made. And that was just my error, not paying attention to and thinking, well, it needs to be here because dry fitting it fits, but I'm forgetting about the top to bottom and the space I need for everything to clear, where the interior should be back a little bit so it goes up and in and it'll clear. So no big deal, a lot more work, but we'll get it, and we'll have that one wrapped up. And this one we'll work on when we're taking a break from Shorty or the villain. And you guys, thank you to all my past, present, and future subs. We're gaining. I thought we only had 1,002, but we're like almost at 1,030. So keep it up, guys. Keep spreading the word. We'll build this channel here. Probably Friday, you'll notice something a little different. I'm 58, but I don't like all this. It's salt and pepper. It's not all gray. It's salt and pepper. And my hair is, both. My hair is a lot darker back here. And nobody's ever said anything to me, and I didn't know until the last video I saw me, when I bent down, I saw the back of my head. I'm like, what in the, So my wife got some special dye. It's supposed to be good, because I tried to dye my stuff before. I'm like my father. I went gray early. I've been gray since my late 30s. It was a little darker here and there, and the hair was a little darker than it kind of went to. So that's why I'm getting all bushy and nasty. We're going to get this all dyed up. Eyebrows, the hair, the whole 9 yards, and then I'm going to clean everything up and make myself look more presentable. So if you notice that, that's to go along with all the weight I've lost. You can kind of see it, my neck and my face a little bit. This fills my face in more than it actually is. But I need to look part. Oh, also, we used the rack and pinion out of the Ford Pro Stock Thunderbird. I had to cut the ends off. We used, and then I drop them. Hold on. There's one. Where's the other one? There it is. We used straight pins and we bent them the same angle. It'll be hard to get it up here for you guys to see. There we go. These are extra long right now. We cut the ball joints, or whatever you want to call them. I'll just kind of hold this up here so you can see down in there. There, and then I drop them again. Damn it. Anyways, here's our rack. Drilled the ends. We bent the pins, like I said, and then we took the tie rod ends off the kit one, and we drilled those out on the end, and they'll go back on the end. That way it fits the span of the Challenger's frame. So we'll have a rack and pinion also. So we have got that ready. We'll get it painted. We'll be working on the engine. We'll get the sub-assemblies done. These will be black. The block will be aluminum. The intake will be black to match the valve covers. We will run purple wires just to stay with the body color and the theme. And we'll get all this detailed up and sub-assemblies on that, and you guys can take a look at the engine. I'm going to have to get a lot of reference material to see, there's little fittings on here everywhere. If you look down in there, you can see them. There they are. I gotta find out where all those go to and what they go to, and so we can add that little bit of detail. So it's going to be a pretty good sized project. It'll take a few months to build this, as like I said, we're doing it kind of on the side. So that being said, guys, again, thank you. Here, see me bumping into crap again. And I'm sorry for all the jostling around. I hope you guys like Shorty. The thumbnail will be of Shorty, so you guys get a better look at it. The Challenger I'll have in at the beginning of the video. So make sure if you miss it, go back and rewatch the very beginning of the video, and you'll get to see what the Challenger actually looks like, or at least a good portion of it, because that's all I had to go by. And Shorty, he's on Instagram. Go give him a follow. Beautiful truck. He's in a big group of guys that are into four-wheel drive. He's in southern Georgia. Georgia or Florida, one of the two, I can't remember. He's in the South. Just a beautiful all-around truck, and we're playing tribute to that. So, Justin, if you're watching this, I hope you like the progress so far. Sorry for the delays and not getting more information up or videos about it, but we're rolling now, and we got our crisis taken care of. We just got to wait for some parts to come now, so we can get those added, and then we'll do some detail painting as soon as we're done with this video. We'll get some detail painting done on this, and then yeah, we'll keep moving along, and we'll steadily get it, guys. So until Friday, guys, this is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.